Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Rally Podcast. I'm one of your usual hosts, Mike White, but here today we are joined with the SRA event manager, Nora White. She's also my sister. I'm out here on vacation in California where she currently lives. So we're in our hotel room in Anaheim. And since Nora runs and puts together most of the Spike Ball Round Association events, whether it be the tour stops, regionals, and nationals, thought it'd be good to talk to her about what goes on in making these happen, whether it be months out or the night before. So yeah, first I want to start with what happens months before, weeks before, days before, morning before, and all that jazz.
Absolutely. So the season planning starts after nationals. So we started end of October, beginning of November last year. The first step is figure out the schedule. So went through and kind of based the dates off last year. Did a few things differently this year, adding the fifth tour stop as well as the community tour stop challenge. So that kind of left a little blank
What
space
was the
for
challenge?
the challenge was the different communities around the country were able to submit a video and other sort of proposals to us saying that they wanted a tour stop to come to them. So show that they had a strong community, great venues, somewhere that everybody else would want to visit. So that was awesome. And then Lancaster, Pennsylvania and Seattle, Washington won those. So those are tour stops on the 2018 calendar. Those are both coming up in May. So things like that, those were empty slots on the schedule, but otherwise figured week to week, space it out between different regions, all that kind of stuff for it to make the most sense. So that's the first step, and then consult the governing board. So that's 9 people, and get their opinions on different venues or locations, and see if there's somewhere we want to move away from or somewhere else we want to go towards. So all of that, and then get that schedule wrapped up. Then the next step is permits.
It's your favorite part?
Permits are my favorite part. Permits are the hardest part and definitely the most time-consuming part of the prep of the season. So that's a lot of time spent reaching out to private companies or private venues, parks and recs, all of that. They have a lot of different regulations. They have a lot of different timing, whether it's, oh, we don't open for 3 more months, or you need to send 8 different forms. So a lot of that is time consuming, but I want to get you guys the best venues. So that's where
Yeah.
I spend a lot of the time in December and January getting all of that
I know.
put
You said
together.
that there was a problem where we're getting more teams, so it's actually a lot harder to get permits. So it's like growing is hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So the with the growth of the sport, we're moving from just one field or a smaller part of the beach to 2 fields or a large portion of beach. So with that, really limits the amount of venues that are available to us, especially in cities where it's usually just one soccer field. And so it's been a lot harder this year, but that's all right. We want the growth.
Yeah. So then, like a week before, what are you doing? Like this
Um,
week before San Diego. San Diego's on Saturday.
Yes,
What do you got to do?
absolutely. So, well, back up to about 2 weeks out. So, 2 weeks out is when we ship everything. So, work with Logan, who is our event coordinator. So, we have different prize packs. We
Well,
have
you mean Logan Cornelius isn't
Logan
just a
Cornelius.
podcaster?
No,
Oh
he
my
does
goodness.
more. I
Wow.
know. He spends those hours elsewhere. So Logan's been awesome, and we've put together an assortment of prize packages, or we know if there's 200 people, we want 3 tents. If there's 70 teams, we need 12 pool signs, all that kind of stuff. So we coordinate 2 Mondays out before the tournament and figure out everything we want to get shipped. So that is what we do that week. And then what else? And then
What about San Diego? Where are those nets coming from?
San Diego, the nets are all coming from my garage. So that is Speckle Warehouse West, as I call it. So we've been fortunate this year, and to cut down on a lot of the shipping, we've sent it all out for the Huntington tour stop, and then it is all stayed in the garage for a couple months to hit the rest of the tour stop. So
Hmm.
that's awesome, and saves us on that. And so I guess San Diego, not much shipped prizes and
Well, tents and
merchandise.
flags, right?
No, it was all there.
Oh,
It
really?
all stayed.
Yeah, I thought it was just
So
sets.
yeah, so super easy for San Diego this week. And then I also confirm all of the pitchers. So the pitchers that we get as prizes, or I don't get, that the players get as prizes. So to confirm the design with are the company that does that and make sure those are shipped out because they're glass and heavy. They take a while to ship
Yeah.
as well. So those confirmed about 2 weeks out. And then what else? Confirm staff, so figure out who's around, who's available to staff the
Hmm.
tournaments for score taking and all the things like that.
Hey, shout out if you ever want to staff a tournament. We need staff, so do it.
Absolutely,
Hit
Nora
Nora
at
up.
spikeball.com. Please send me an email.
Paid work, paid work.
Paid work.
You get to hang out and keep scores and have a great time and get
Exactly.
paid.
What's better than watching spikeball on the beach
Hmm.
for money? So, exactly. So that's kind of the 2 weeks out stuff. And then as we come into the final week. So it's kind of checking on the team count. If it's possible to start making pools, just to cut down that at the end of the week. Other things like making sure I have enough water, enough snacks, getting a U-Haul rental set up, all the things like that. If so, San Diego is special this week, but if not, it would be putting together all the sets, which Michael's my go-to man for that. So get a bunch of people to the house
If you've
and put it
ever,
together.
if you've ever just like wanted to play a game, but like, oh, I don't really want to put a whole nother net together. Try put together like 40 of them.
70. Boston, we put 70
Yeah,
together in a night.
it's really not fun.
It's a
Like,
lot.
I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah.
So yeah, things like that. So it's kind of all the nitty gritty things. So it's running around doing errands, and getting that stuff together. And then once registration closes, it's putting together the pools, getting all of those printed out, check-in lists. Speaking of check-in, this week at San Diego, if you are playing, we are having check in through the Spikeball app. So there'll be more information in the information email coming later this week. But essentially, you just DM me that you're checked in through the app that morning, and you don't have to come and check in physically. So we're
That's
trying
pretty
that
good.
out. So we're excited to see if that works. But yes, yeah, so that's kind of all the stuff in the last few
Or
days.
the morning of.
The morning of, or the night of and the morning of, make sure everything is in the U-Haul. We had a really fun U-Haul story. It's not fun at all. But before West Regionals, we were packing the U-Haul.
And we were done with packing the U-Haul.
We were done.
It was like midnight, and we were
Finished.
done. I go, okay, we have all the nets in here. Let's shut the U-Haul doors to make sure that we can shut them because all the nets are in here.
It was packed. And at some point, hours earlier, when the packing began, I put the key down on like the ledge, the back of the ledge of the U-Haul, and so when we shut the door, magically hit the lock button, and then we were left at midnight, 6 hours before we were waking up for West Regionals with keys locked in the back of a U-Haul. So don't do that. Now I make sure that they are like somewhere, and I know, and they are nowhere near the U-Haul.
Yeah. If you want to know the ending, the ending is we figured out you could reach in the front window and open the door, and then once
open the back door, the back slider door.
Open open the.
Oh yeah,
the
front window.
You could reach in the
open.
front window and open the front door, the driver door.
Yep.
Then from in there, you could reach into the back and open the side sliding door if you kind of contort your arm a little bit.
Fortunately, our U-Haul had space for that.
Yeah,
So
so
it's not
then
normal.
because the U-Haul was up against a bush, I crawled under the bush and into the side of the U-Haul and took all the boxes and sets and put them on top of the U-Haul and then climbed through and unlocked the door.
Yep.
It was not fun.
I know.
So, guys, tips. Do not leave your keys in a place where they can get locked in the car.
Yep.
Maybe, I mean, during the day is fine, not at midnight when it'll take an hour to get some from AAA there.
So, otherwise, not that bad.
Smooth sailing.
It was smooth sailing otherwise, with just that one moment. So get the U-Haul all packed up, make sure everything's in there. So it's all the sets, all the tents, all the flags, all the pool signs. The generator for the PA system, the scoreboard, all the sets. So that sometimes is 30 sets, sometimes it's 40 sets, sometimes it's 75 sets. So really depends on the amount of teams.
Mm-hmm.
All the snacks, all the water, all that, all loaded up. Pools made, everything printed. So all of that together, and then wake up and go. So normally our wake up is 5:30 to 6 o'clock.
Well, when do we get to the field?
Normally we get to the field 6:30 to 6:45. And that's for you guys to arrive at 8:45.
We gotta stop at Dunkin's first.
Yes, it's harder in California, but normally, yes, stop at Dunkin's on the way.
Maybe a Starbucks if you have to.
We did that for West Regionals, yeah, Starbucks. So, yeah, shout out to Dunkin's running us in those early mornings. So yes, and then we get to the field about 6:45, we'll say, for this, and unload everything. So all the scents, all the tents, everything back out. So I like to start with unboxing. So all the like merchandise, all the prizes, everything, just kind of get
Get
it
the
out
tables
and
looking
visible.
nice.
Get the tables looking nice, tablecloths, everything looking pretty and set up. Put the tents up around it. Michael and Jack are awesome at putting out the
I'll
sets.
say shout out to Jack Scotty
Shout out to
because he
Jack.
is so good at. He'll just get like 40 nets. He'll get all of the nets in both his arms and
Yeah,
just carry them out and lay them out.
yeah. So can't forget Jack in any of this because Jack is the
Jack's
godfather
the
of
powerhouse of the cell.
tournaments.
He's the mitochondria of spikeball
Yes.
tournaments.
So yeah, when it's me, Jack, and Michael together, it's like
Yeah,
we don't talk. We
you
just
just
all
do
know what we're
it.
doing, and it
Gotta do
happens.
something.
Um,
But I also want to say the reason you want to get there early, like we don't like we could get there later and set up fine, but we want people showing up at 8:45 with the field looking nice.
exactly. So we want everything to be perfect. So the goal is to be ready at 8:30 with everything in place. So when you walk up, it's perfect, and we're ready for you.
Yeah. So throughout all of that, when are you most stressed? Is it like finding permits? Is it that morning of? Is it the night before? Like when are you freaking out the most?
The night before, it takes me a while to fall asleep, and then I wake up usually an hour before I have to. Because I'm just like, was that packed? Did I do that? Is
Yeah.
all that in there? So
Have you
for
tried using a checklist?
exactly, yeah, there's much checklist, but it's just like, what was that one
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Oh, did I put those bars
Did I
on
not
there or
write
not?
something down? Yeah.
Exactly,
Well, because you
and
could be forgetting something, be like, I'll get it later, and
yeah, it might be on the list, and then I said, oh, I did it, and then I didn't do it, and all those things. So definitely the night before. I don't sleep often. Nationals, I think I slept about 3.5 hours
yeah.
before. Just because your
So
mind's
this
racing.
past weekend at Southwest Sectionals, we forgot a needle or a pump for the ball, and
Yeah,
it took us an hour to figure out that we could have just opened the spike ball sets as prizes that we
right.
brought with
There
us
was
because
about
they
12 sets for
definitely
prizes.
have a pipe in them.
Exactly,
It's
and
really confusing actually. We have I'm just gonna say it. We have our camera here and we have our faces down here, and it's so tempting. Like when you do a
watch yourself.
selfie, just to want to look at yourself, and it's really throwing us off.
So sorry if our eyes are
Yeah, we're just
going
wandering,
everywhere.
but it's okay. All right. Anyway,
Um,
so it was
yeah.
fun.
So then, yeah, then we do the tournaments, and then we pack it all up and bring it home and ship it back out. So life cycle.
So throughout that, is there anything that you think happens that you have to do that people just like wouldn't think that you have to do? Anything crazy?
I don't know if there's anything specifically. I'd say the biggest thing is just the amount of time that it takes. And I don't want to discourage anybody from hosting a tournament because in reality, it's pretty simple of a process. But when it's tournaments of this size, it just takes a lot of time.
Hmm.
So for example, putting together an event page. So I put together the event page last night for Madison that opened today. So go sign up for $30. And
Save money.
it takes about an hour or so to just formulate all of that. To put together a single event page, even though I'm pretty much copy and pasting all the information. So something as simple as that. Pools will take a few hours. The permits is definitely the biggest. I'm trying to think if
Well,
there's
that's what
any
I
other
felt like when
nitty
I
gritty
wanted to host a
things.
tournament. It was so discouraging because I would just call the Natick Public or Parks and Rec,
Yeah.
and they just wouldn't answer 6 times, and then you go in and you get it, and you pay for it and all that, and it's just like so much of a hassle that you don't want to just host a tournament. You're like
Yeah.
getting the permit is just the hardest part, and like finding a place to do it. So once you do that, it is smooth
It's
sailing. So get that permit, know
it's
someone.
great. Exactly. So yeah, if you know of any or anything like that, yeah, so that's the biggest time consuming. And there's days that I'll spend 4 hours reaching out to so many places
Hey, and the
and
first
nobody
tournament,
answers.
first tournament Nora hosted was an 8-team tournament in Natick, Mass. So
8 teams.
don't let your dreams be dreams.
There's a lot of YouTube footage from that day, and it's sad.
It's
It's
really
sad.
bad.
But yeah, exactly. So that was August 2014.
Yeah, 14.
August 2014. So here we are at 3.5 years later, and yeah, we have 200 team events.
Yeah,
So it's come a long way.
it's funny. Okay, so um, talked about what stresses you. So like, what would make an event fun? So after we leave Huntington, we were just talking about like the day overall. But I just want to know like what makes a day good to you. Like when you leave and you're like at dinner afterwards,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that was a good day.
Right. For me, it is the players' reactions. So I want to make sure that you have the most fun you can have, whether it's your first time playing and like you're just on the beach all day with your friends hanging out playing spikeball, or you're an elite player and you're there for the competition and all the rules are handled well and the field looks nice and everything that you want to compete and be successful in competing is there. So it's really I vibe and I feel the success off of the players. So I've really been trying to make an effort to make like specific connections. So really talk to someone about, hey, like where are you from? What are you doing here? Are you excited? And that stuff. So my obviously there's a million logistics that go into everything, and
Well,
even
so with
if
the logistics, is it more about just like hope it goes to plan, and if it does, like that was a good day.
exactly so the logistics, it's like I can have the pools ready, and then I can have the I don't even know. The tents are up and the flags are up and the sets are
The
out and
prize is
all of
all
that. The
shipped and all
prizes are
that.
there.
Yeah.
Everything. So everything could go great on
If it
paper,
goes, yeah.
but if the players didn't have a good time, then it's not as fun for me. So I like watching everybody play. Well, I don't get to see you play because I'm doing everything in the background, but I like to see um, how everybody is having fun. Whatever that definition is for you, I want you to have a great day, and so I have a great day if everyone has a great day.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I was also thinking with making the schedule, if you had to create a world tour,
Hmm.
but the 4 tour stops were just places that you want to go to or want to go back to, like what are your I guess what's your Mount Rushmore of places to go and have a
Okay,
tournament?
so definitely Australia. So
So before this, I told that question to our sister Leah, and Leah goes, "She's gonna say Australia." She said it right away. She's gonna say Australia.
so yes, definitely Australia. So there's Round Out Australia, so they're already doing great things over there. So definitely want to go there, and I have a friend there now, and then friends that have been, and like the beaches are beautiful, and so definitely Australia. Um, I think it would be really cool to do one in like Iceland or Antarctica and really mix it up and like have like waterfalls in the
I mean,
background
we
and
could play on
like
snow. The
icebergs.
Canadians, the
They
Montreal
do.
people just had a tournament on snow. Like that's the whole thing. Is it's on snow.
That's
Okay,
crazy, but
maybe
it
it
would
doesn't.
be
Maybe
cool.
that doesn't sound fun.
No, it
But
doesn't
yeah.
sound fun, but it would be cool. And where else?
Chris Reuter wants Hawaii. You
I
just
would
listen
do
to a podcast
Hawaii.
from him on the
Yeah,
Bootstrappers where he
yesterday.
said
Yeah,
he really wants to hire someone from Hawaii so he can go visit them.
yeah. If I'll go there, but I don't know if everyone's gonna pay for airfare. But if
Yeah,
we get
but
enough
okay, so
teams,
just
ideally.
ideally,
So
would Hawaii
ideally,
be
us.
one, or would you pick somewhere else?
No, I would pick like I would say like Australia over Hawaii. I'd kind of put them in the same
Okay,
boat. In terms of like
of tropical, not tropical.
yeah,
It would be
tropical,
beach. It would be on the
beach
beach.
tropical. Um, what else?
So wait, so we
Um,
got Iceland. We're not doing Antarctica, I don't
no, so
think.
Iceland's more
Iceland,
realistic. Iceland,
Australia.
Australia. Um, where else have I been, or where would I want to do? Well, I want to go to Italy, so let's do one there. I
Have
think
fun
that
finding
would
a
be
field in Venice.
yeah, or it could be we can have it in the
No,
Colosseum.
they have a lot of soccer. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Okay, there
Yeah.
we go.
Sure.
So we
Sure.
have in the Colosseum in Italy. And a fourth one. Um, where else?
I don't know. She
I
doesn't
don't
even know
know
where she
either.
wants to go.
Well,
You
no,
got
I'm
to go
trying to
one
think
thing at
of
a time.
places versus like that would be good for spike ball.
Yeah.
But like Italy and Australia are my top places to go. Cool if we could have one like the desert with like a safari, like just animals roaming around. Like those could be our
In the
observers
savannah.
in the savannah.
We
Um,
should we could have one at the Animal Kingdom Hotel at Disney World.
yes,
Just in their
yes,
little area with all the animals.
yeah. But and then also, well, I guess we'll give a
All right,
shout out.
so wait, so which one's the Grand Slam? You don't even have a fourth. What's the
I
fourth?
know. I
Pick a
don't
fourth.
know. I don't know. I don't really know where else I want to go or do. That's the question. Um,
Wow. I'm trying to help you, but I don't. Just say Hawaii. Just
okay,
throw Hawaii.
Hawaii,
Okay.
Australia, Hawaii.
Which one's the Grand Slam? Where are we finishing off?
Um, I
I,
think based off, I think we go Africa and like the savannah up to Iceland, and then we do Hawaii and then Grand Slam in Australia.
okay. That's
I'm
pretty
sorry,
cool.
my brain is just about regions, so I'm like,
I
gosh,
know
I'm
you're
trying to pick it
trying to
out.
pick everything.
Exactly, make it even.
I'm just trying to say where do you want to
I
go,
know
and you're saying
exactly. No,
we're
but
doing
Italy
this.
and Australia, those are my top
Okay.
two. Otherwise, or Arches National Park. Dad was talking about that yesterday. Definitely want to do more. If you don't explore America, then like, I feel bad because America's beautiful. So, Arches
We
National
can
Park,
see a
that'd be
beautiful
amazing.
mountain out here outside our hotel window.
I know.
Yeah.
Just good backdrops. That's more of what I want. It's
You
not
want
about the places,
you
it's the
don't
good
want. Oh,
backdrops.
so we can't like so if we have a tournament in Hawaii, it won't count if it's at like a local high school and you have a fence in the background.
Exactly.
It has to be like I
Exactly.
think we need a tournament in front of Mount Kilimanjaro,
Yes.
right there.
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay. All right. Tom Goulet would love that. Some great pictures.
Yes.
Some great pictures. Okay. Well, that's what I have. So you excited about San Diego? Oh, well, so actually, it was advice for any tournament directors, people that want to host tournaments.
I would say the biggest thing is it's not as scary as it seems. So even though I like talked to some horror stories today, um, it's on a whole nother level when you're doing these tour series. So we did tournaments. We hosted a bunch of like smaller tournaments comparatively, a couple of years ago, and or even with
Well,
the
even even
flurry and
well, even
stuff
just
now.
like the college sectional
Oh, exactly, the college
was
sectional.
a
So
17-team tournament.
yeah, so something like that. It really doesn't take a lot. So the biggest thing is putting together an event page, and specballrunout.com is kind of, you can easily walk yourself through that. So that's a big part. And then getting a location. So definitely use the connections you have.
Wait,
Be
just do your local high school if you can.
local high school,
Go
anything
to your
like that.
Parks and Rec department. You don't need anything crazy. You just need a
No,
soccer field,
you need a field.
right?
And be persistent if they're not getting back to you.
So the big thing I found is just show up in person because anyone can just ignore your calls. So just show up and say, "Hey, I want a field for a tournament," and you'll talk to someone in a minute.
Exactly.
So
And some places are awesome and can get back to you really quick. Otherwise, others aren't. But be persistent. Just get that permit. So if you get those two out of the way, so event page and permit, you're kind of good from there. So then advertise, talk amongst your friends, make Facebook events, anything like that. Get it out there. Get players to it. So some people will like get local sponsors and have cash prizes or have things donated. All things like that. You can have pizza from the local pizza shop, stuff to get people to it, but most people just want to come and play
hey,
around net.
saying what we did, what was great for the first 2 years, it was like $10 a team, and so that was what like probably no, yeah, $10 a team.
300.
We probably got X amount of money. We spent half on the permit. We spent half on pizzas. It was a great day.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Just keep
through
it simple.
through Spikeball Around Net, you get 70% of the revenue from the registration fees.
Hmm.
So that can cover the permits. It can cover other prizes you want to get, or you can make some money off of it. So that's another thing as well. And if you have a certain number of teams, we'll send you sets, we'll send you prizes. So things like that
Hmm.
are ready and available to you. And then when it comes to the day of, putting some pools together, you're telling people where they're playing, you're taking down some scores. All those resources are all available online. We have
Hmm.
what we do out there, so easy for you guys to
So
take
contact
advantage
you and
of it.
Christina for help.
Yep, so independent tournament directors, Christina is in charge of that. So Christina at spikeball.com if you have any questions about running an independent tournament. Any questions about sanctioned tournaments can come to me. But yeah, so I just do it, just try it.
Just do it.
And I had no idea this is where I would end up in life. Michael went to tournaments, and I was there, and I started helping out, and then now 3.5 years later, this is what I do full time.
Hmm.
So you might never know what you love to do, and Speckle Tournaments has been the thing for me.
Hmm.
So just just do it. We have everything you need to know online, all the support. Christina is great with the ambassadors and tournament directors, and will help you with anything you need. So just try it. If you have a local group in your area and you want something more official,
Hmm.
reach out and put it
The
together.
biggest thing I see when people say, "Why haven't you been to a tournament?" is there aren't any near me. Well, just host your own. Just be that guy that hosts the tournament, and everyone loves you because you're just putting it on. You're taking one for the team.
Exactly.
Everyone's gonna love it. They're all gonna come together, and it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, and on
People
that
just want to
note,
play.
Charles Henry and Tommy Adesso. So big shout out to those guys. They won. I forget the name of the award now, but they won the awards at nationals, and those guys have just created great like hubs in their area. So Charles hosts
They
a
both have their own tour
they
series.
have their own tour series. So Charles hosts a bunch of tournaments all around Montreal. Tommy does the same in Denver. So there's a Denver tour series. Montreal's a bonus tour stop for us this year in the sanctioned events. So take
Be like
the
them.
be like them. Take what they've done,
Yeah.
and you can do it. You can grow some great areas of or great round in your area. Lancaster, Pennsylvania too. They host tournaments left and right, and they're a huge hotbed there
Hmm.
as well. So just someone's got to step up and do it and grow it in your area.
Yeah.
And even us hosting them in Natick and the amount of Natick players that there are and Spicy Roundnet Club growing from
Hmm.
that and all of it. So be that person.
Just
Do
do it.
it. any help, any questions, all of that,
Yeah.
we're here for you. We want to grow the sport and whatever we can do for that. So just do it.
All right.
More than that, I don't know.
So that's all I have. Now I'm going to say,
Okay.
are you excited for San Diego?
Yes, I'm very excited for San Diego. So last year San Diego
Bad.
was not bad.
Not bad.
It was
There was bad weather.
it was the Friday before San Diego was the rainiest day like of the year in California. And so we had like some wind and it was just in and out and rain's not a thing here. So it was just a like chilly. It wasn't a great day.
It wasn't fun.
It's not fun when it's bad weather. But anyway, so I'm really excited for this weekend. So besides for Michael, my sister and my parents are in town. So Michael and Leah are both playing, and my parents will be there help and support us. So having them there, I'm super excited about. And then yeah, just excited to be back on the beach in San Diego. It's looking like it's clearing. Rain was in the forecast, but it's gonna be sunny again. We have I think about 70 teams signed up right now. So excited to have everybody come out and kind of get the season rolling. So this is the second event of 2018, and then starting in like 3 weeks, we have a tournament about every weekend. So
Yeah. That'll be a lot.
yeah, so
Hey,
excited.
so you heard her earlier. Madison opened today. You'll save $10 or maybe $30 if you're a late sign up. If you sign up today, so do that. Also, San Diego registration closes tonight, so get on that. And besides that, yeah.
If you're in Atlanta, San Francisco, Chicago, or Lancaster, those are all already open.
Open.
And
Sign up to
then-
make her life a lot easier.
Exactly.
And you'll save
Dallas
some
and
money.
Santa Monica coming up in the next few weeks. So check out on tournament.spikeball.com and Spikeball Roundnet and Spikeball Instagrams for the tournament schedules and make some plans.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to spend your weekends.
All right. Thanks for sitting down, Nora.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Thanks you guys for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Bye.